a lot of effort here to make something happen. With that said, I'm Breaky CBK, joined by Beef once again. Beef, they banned Keeper of the Forest. What does that
Smart.
mean now?
It means that they're learning. It means that they realize that in the last two games, Keeper has just done phenomenally well, and they should probably not let Lions have Keeper of the Forest. With that being said, they do leave Tempest unbanned, at least so far, and of course that does mean that our total bans here, Engineer, Keeper of the Forest, Parasite, and Scout, leaving Lions open for a first pick Wretched Hag, something that I'm sure Hanskin and the boys are extremely comfortable with. And they got Kraken as well. Oh man, Breaky. They've already got a pretty strong lineup. I gotta say that Absolute Legends, I think what they're doing right now is saying, okay, we did some research. We kind of saw what all the heroes that are in vogue are, and we wanted to try some of those heroes. They've been trying lineups that don't really feel as AL. And right now, they're going back to basics. They're going back to AL heroes. A Cookie's Fade or a Present Fade. A Bubbles that's going to be played by one of these guys as well. I think this is going to be a true AL lineup. And I think that's what they've got a chance with.
Yeah. Lions with their draft, too. You know, with both Ophelia and Tempest being not banned, with that, as a result of those first couple of bans, so yeah, they happen to get Hag and Kraken. They're basically saying, you know, we're willing to let you pick either Tempest or Ophelia, we'll take the other. They don't do it in the end, so they're like, okay, well, I guess we'll take Ophelia. Well, they get their choice in the end, and obviously you see AL. They're the ones that end up with the Tempest. But you're right. I mean, this is more AL, or I guess you could say, you know, kind of what their playstyle plays for. I mean, Fade is obviously still a great hero. He did get some decent nerfs. He has died off a little bit. Kind of, I mean, he is one of those heroes. He's not that he's not really not paid attention to, but I feel like he's banned in the second tier of bans more than most heroes, honestly. He kind of just is in that tier. He's not good enough to pick up in the first three a lot of the time, but he's never good, or he's not bad enough to be there still until the next couple of picks. So, gonna be the case here. They pick him up with the Bubbles and then the Tempest. So yeah, strong starts for both sides. Obviously, both sides need support still, as well as carry options, definitely. In fact, you look at the bans there, mix of carry / super KGE bans coming out. As far as AL, once again, Devo, Prisoner, Ravener taken out. You had Sandwraith, Moon Queen, Swiftblade taken out by Lions. They go Torturer route here as far as their very likely support option. So I'm leaning towards something like a short lane Kraken here. Actually, probably more of a short lane Hag, a Suicide Kraken. You got Torture. We'll see what that final pick is. Master of Arms is even still on the board, in fact. So we'll see if maybe Lions picks it up with their final pick even, but...
Yeah, Master of Arms definitely available, and I've actually got to say that the Torture Kraken short lane will absolutely dominate this Bubbles, so I feel like that could be a very real possibility, but at the same time, having a Suicide Wretched Hag going up against something like this Tempest means that Tempest could not only have very strong farm herself, but Hag might have some weaker farm, so I kind of feel like maybe I'm right there with you, that Kraken, maybe even Kraken plus Torture in the long lane could certainly be interesting, maybe even the aggressive pseudo tri-lane right here, but it's up to Lions on this last pick. I kind of feel like they might go for another one of these solos. A Pharaoh or a Rally is kind of jumping into my mind right here. And I think that one of those two could be interesting, but no, it's going to be Slither. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an aggressive pseudo tri-lane now with Kraken, Torture, Ophelia long lane. Then you're going to have Slither short and Wretched Hag mid, which could be very, very interesting. That could leave Wretched Hag a little bit vulnerable mid as a result of the Fade Pyro lane, which is extremely strong, but it would do a good job of shutting down Tempest and whatever short lane hero that AL decides to pick up.
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on who's playing what over there for Lions. I mean, they could still definitely swap, obviously not reading up just yet, but currently Jonas Fan's actually on the Kraken, and they got Super KGE on the Wretched Hag, so I do wonder, you know, if that's something different, but that could still end up being still a solo mid Wretched Hag. Obviously, he plays in that mid anyways, but and then maybe Jonas Fan, they feel like he's maybe just the better Kraken player on the team, but I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see until they actually ready up on those heroes. But now the final pick coming out for AL, of course. As far as what we're looking at for them, you figure short lane presence is what they need. But knowing that you're going up against a possible pseudo tri-lane, obviously, how do you think about that and how will you react now? You really can't, I mean, they could look to do that themselves with like a Pyro Fade Tempest in the long lane to counter that way. And maybe pick up like a Pharaoh here as their final pick. Of course, Pharaoh goes Kraken, not usually your best bet, though. So, yeah, definitely some choices. Maybe something like a Rally, actually.
Yep.
Wouldn't be a bad pickup here for AL, I think.
Now,
When you do look at the Legion team, but...
if you do go Rally right here, you put yourself in a position where you have to win at the mid-game. And Lions, I mean, they've got a strong mid-game lineup as well, but they've definitely got something to carry themselves into the late game. A Rally pickup would make us extremely, like, pub, just stun train oriented. And the CD is going to round this one out very well for the Absolute Legends, giving them the stun damage, or the stun that they need, as well as that late game carry potential, so that they do not have to have this game won by the 25 or 30 minute mark with hero kills alone. With that being said, I think Corrupted Disciple was an extremely risky pick if they plan to put him in this shortened lane. Kraken, Torture, Ophelia will dominate this Corrupted Disciple. Even if they throw the Pyromancer up there, I don't think that they're going to be able to really fight this one off. And that could leave Fade actually pretty vulnerable in the middle lane. I feel like Lions has a very strong laning setup if they go default right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it is going to be interesting, again, to see how those matchups take place. Yeah, of course I agree with you. I mean, I think it is a little bit of a risky pick there from AL. King Plato, their carry player, though, he wanted that carry hero. Obviously, Corrupted Disciple, definitely great, but will he be able to have that good time? So far, we don't see any lane information just yet. They're going to be going to their own jungles to protect it. It looks like it's either side. Maybe that, if anything, is something, and actually also just play a what. So yeah, Wretched on Jonas Fan on Wretched, kind of the other way around there. You do have Super KG eventually playing the Kraken, so they did swap things up. And yeah, Fuzi on the Slither Hanskin on Ophelia, and of course Sealkid on that Torture. So it looks like it is just going to be that Suicide Wretched Ag, yeah, the more short lane, pseudo trial lane in the end. Or excuse me, they're still going to have actually Kraken Torture mid, and then just have Slither down there in the short lane is what I meant. So, but now for AL, yeah, you probably don't want to do anything out of the ordinary here. So that means you're going to have a Hag versus Corrupted match up top. And I think that's good for them. So, yeah, Lions could have gone for more of that aggressive route, no doubt. But they decide to play the more conventional. And I think that is going to be to the benefit of AO, especially with that Corrupted pick. So,
yeah,
kind of curious about that from Lions. But
definitely an interesting choice right here. But that is what they're opting to go with right now. And I wonder if Lions will actually try to make any kind of swaps after they see the lanes, because a Slither versus a Corrupted Disciple in their short lanes, the CD is going to farm just about as effectively. Slither might be able to force his suicide opponent out a little bit more than CD is, but CD is going to be able to do more with that farm generally in the first 15 minutes of the game, and even going into the mid game, as long as he's not addressed. And Kraken isn't really a hero that's going to be able to run around generating a ton of pressure. Neither is Ophelia. She's going to need to be dragging her creeps along everywhere, not able to just TP into the lane and be like, oh, I'm here, let's go. So I feel like leaving the CD unaddressed by throwing a Wretched Hag up into this long lane is kind of a mistake, but it is what, like you said, Lions are going to be comfortable with right here, going something a little bit safer and then just trying to make sure they outplay their opponents.
Yeah, it's a mistake, but not really at the same time, because it does go back to Lions and they should feel like they are the better team in the end. I mean, so this is basically making a point that, okay, we're not going to take you could definitely say a risk as the aggressive pseudo trialing up here, and we're just going to play the way we know how to play, the safe way, and beat you at the game that way. So,
well, I almost feel like if they were going to do it like this, I would have rather seen Wretched Hag in the short lane and then Slither as a suicide. They've shown that they're comfortable with Slither as a suicide. Slither can do better against Corrupted Disciple while also having the wards that he's going to be able to throw down to keep himself safe from Tempest past that 5-minute mark. So I feel like that could have been something that would have worked, especially since Slither's going to be able to really get more happening if they bring anybody else into gank, and then Wretched Hag should be able to do just fine against Bubble's bottom lane as well. But in any case, that's not what's going to be happening, and now it's going to be all about this Pyromancer versus Fade, or Pyromancer Fade versus Torture Kraken matchup middle, and that one is going to be all about who's going to get more active from the roamers and the junglers here.
Bubbles, a lot of pressure right off the bat there. You see, again, this is not a matchup that's friendly for Bubbles at all. The toxicity debuff, the auto attack's going in. But yeah, middle lane, you do see Kraken taking the stun, but so does Fade. So both sides, some back and forth stunts coming out between the supports right there, just showing what's up. Going to force them to use a little bit of regen early on. nothing too out of the ordinary. But yeah, I definitely look at what you're saying, and you know, it definitely makes sense. But again, it is what it is here. So we'll see how the lanes obviously shape up as it goes back to you. But so far, Corrupted Disciple 4-4 here on his start. 0-1 Wretched Hag. So safe to say, Corrupted again very early on, only a minute and a half, but definitely doing pretty well here. As far as also gaining the lane control. Slither, the same thing at the bottom lane. Again, 6-3 for him. You got Bubbles at 0-3 currently, and you see Slither even boxing him out. So probably going to be a little bit of a slower start here. Maybe outside of the middle lane, pending a little bit out of position. But you got both teams, of course, with the jungler. You have Ophelia down here, stacking the camps, actually. Hanskin at least attempted to, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, he's going to get it, actually. Well played right there, and just using the Minotaur to continue to farm up there. In the meantime, but definitely ganks from Ophelia, not out of the question. You know, a little more likely than compared to that Tempest, perhaps. But
yeah,
just for now, more neutral play coming out. Nothing out of the ordinary, of course.
And so far, you're talking about action possibly in that middle lane. A lot of that might come down to Ophelia getting levels, and so far she's off to a really good start, actually. She got triple Minotaur camps to actually spawn out right here, so lots of experience could be coming her way right now, and was able to get the stack off, as you had mentioned. So Hanskin's going to be able to get a relatively quick level 5. Up top, Hag is actually manning up against this Corrupted Disciple, and CD's actually extremely low now. Hag's going to go ahead and potion on up there. Both going to potion up, but CD's now completely out of mana, and Hag has nothing to fear.
Yeah. And, you know, this is something else, too. Hag actually going that early Guardian ring. He's going to upgrade it right here, probably, into the Ring of Teacher. There you go. It's a very smart choice, obviously. I mean, that definitely upkeep live middle lane. In the meantime, Pyromancer gets charged in. Chain Reaction is going to miss, though. And Pyromancer will be fine. So Silka just a little bit late right there with the Chain Reactions. And Noodle is able to run away. In fact, Torture still might be in some trouble. Burning Shadows. Is he in range of the Cole? He is, but the final auto attack's not going to be enough. And Torture will live, but that almost backfired for Sealkid right there, as he was just hanging on the ledge. Good attempt from AL, but 3.5 minutes in, still no bloodlust kill, so action is picking up most certainly. But again, no actual kill happening just yet, as far as that's concerned. So
I actually checked pings right there, right as Sealkid missed that chain reaction, and he was at 416 ping. So, not exactly sure what's going on there. Maybe a bit of a lag burst, but Bubbles in the bottom lane is going to go down. Bloodless kill coming out in favor of Lions, and it was just a matter of time until Bubbles got caught by a poison spray.
Yeah. I mean, we saw earlier, he actually was done about 20 life. I was watching that earlier, so he was able to reach up, though, of course. But, yeah, it is just it's a one-sided match. I mean, it is a very, very difficult matchup. You know, it goes back to, in this case, if your Bubbles just don't die, but it is a lot easier said than done. So, Present 23 falling right there. You know, not really surprised, but that does hurt at the same time. I mean, Fuzi's farm now, he is upwards of 390 gold per minute. And, of course, that really, really, really is going to enhance that farm. I do see what you're talking about, though. I'm actually doing the ping all as well. And, yeah, Silka continuing to be, actually, very, very high latency here. Now 430 at this point. I mean, it's a US East server, so it's not like a bad server by any means. But it looks like he just might have some issues on his end. So, clearly, they're just at a point where they're saying they're going to deal with it.
Up top, Ricky.
But, that is something. Yeah, top lane. Hag's actually in trouble. The conduit is up. She's going to blink away, though. She doesn't have a TP. Oh, this is... I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to get to her, though.
No, she'll stay up there until she's got mana for whatever she needs to do. But probably actually going to wait for a bottle. I believe that she's already purchased it, just waiting for it to be delivered at this point. And Tempest will show the elementals are going to be leaving the lane here momentarily. But Creams is just kind of hanging out. Okay, he's just grabbing boots. So that's all. Ophelia did have a Skeleton King, and she was making her way to the middle lane, but not really going to be doing anything just yet. She's just very, very quickly here going to be hitting level 5, and once she gets a second minion, that's when you're going to see her maybe try to set something up in the middle or the bottom lanes.
Well, that you also good preemptive play there from AL. I mean, you see the Ward of Sight where that's at near the Conqueror pit. That saw Ophelia coming the whole way, so they were easily able to react to that, and that just bought a lot of time off of Ophelia's farm, and it is showing in comparison. I mean, already, yeah, you can say Tempest is the better farmer, but Tempest at 340 gold per minute, Ophelia at 190. I mean, that is a massive, massive difference right there, as well as having a 2-level advantage does Tempest. Bubble's going to protect the bottom rune in the meantime, as it happens to be a double damage rune, and he'll just pick it out of himself. So, Cream's on Tempest here. I mean, in fact, he's level 7 there even. He's off to a huge start, especially when you compare that to Ophelia. and what she has going for her. So they're definitely going to bank off him being able to do something pretty effective here.
Yeah, I guess those spawns for Ophelia not looking as good as I thought, and now she's gonna not only lose a creep, but also her life. Seal Kid's coming over with an impalement, looking for a chain reaction stun here in a moment, and we'll get bubbles. Pyramates are gonna go down as well, but Fade comes in, the two-man burning shadows, but now she's in some trouble. Kraken ults up, there it is!
It does catch Fade. It wasn't the perfect placement. She is able to knock it stun, but it might be enough. It will be enough. The poison damage, it can't be lethal with the ultimate. It doesn't matter. She had the poison spray on too. So it does tick her down. So yeah, the release the Kraken, it was just a little short. She was almost able to get away, but the pull-in was just enough to keep her in place. And obviously we saw the end result. So Lion Esports Club definitely coming on top of that exchanging overall. Top lane, Wretched Hack forced to blink away before too much else happened. So yeah, Seal Kid being the only victim there. Not really the major concern for Lions, and feeling pretty good after that fight. But again, I keep looking back at this Tempest and what kind of impact he's going to be able to have. He did try to set up a gank maybe on a Wretched Hack again at that top lane, but obviously she was able to get away, so being a little bit slippery there and able to make something happen. So unlike the first two games as well here for AL, Cookies this time around not as good of a time. Only a 23-0 creep farm. She has the kill, but she also has a death, and she's farming now only 212 gold per minute compared to Kraken, who's at 360 GPM. So, you know, Fade's impact of this game might not be as big as they were hoping for, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's gonna need to get a little bit more space. Those kills probably going to be very important, but at the same time, Fade's kind of like a Pharaoh in the sense that you don't need as many items on her. The levels are going to be more important. Getting that level 11 mark is really the important benchmark, but just some upgraded boots into maybe a portal key if she can get it does allow Fade to set up a ton of kills, though Cookies has shown time and time again that he really does like going for that Codex route. Up top though, Breaky, Wretched Hack could be in some trouble here. Oh, nice blink back, all set up by the Ward of Sight that Jonas and Fan had set off to the side.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that Ward of Sight, that very likely was a dead Wretched Hack right there. I mean, they were getting perfect positioning, but obviously she could see, and well, she blinked away way before they were able to get that positioning themselves. Middle lane, Fade's TPing somewhere. She's going to the bottom lane. They're trying to set up a gank on a Slither right here. This could be successful. They have a kelp field from Bubbles. There's the kelp field, the invisible Fade coming in. Slither knows like something's probably up, but she's going to hold her ground right here. Here comes the opening, the cold on top of the burning shadows. Slither power supply just enough to stay alive. She gets the poison spray off. She will fall, but that poison spray getting off is a pretty big deal. That's a level 4 poison spray. That Catman champion knew. Good to nice deny from Cookies though coming out. And Cookies should be fine, or will the Ophelia chases. The poison is still taking him down, but it's not going to be enough in the end. And he will get away. So AL does come out on top there as they also push the top tower while that happened.
Yeah, able to get some space up there, take down the tower. Gold lead here for the Absolute Legends squad as looks like Lion's going to go ahead and equalize a little bit by taking tower in the middle lane, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this one up top. This is just a single TP. It's a Kraken, so he's a pretty big tanky dude. It looks like he will be able to drive him off.
He is, and Slither did have a TP in case. I mean, he's hitting the bottom lane, but if they were going full commitment, then Slither very likely would have ported in, and yeah, that could have been a bad case for AL if they continue. So I do agree, you know, it's just a little too risky to be going on this. So they did have a Tempest ultimate, but you don't really want to play over the top here. So they do fall back, and definitely the safer route. Tempest farm continues to be pretty impressive, 343 gold per minute here. You kind of wonder. You also talked about Fade and the idea of what he likes to go for, Cookies especially. Yeah, going for that Codex build. But, you know, with this start, you would kind of hope for his team's sake that, you know, instead maybe going for something like that tablet, the portal key, or even something like a puzzle box wouldn't be out of the question. But we'll see if he does go for that Codex. It will still be a great pickup, but even though it's one of those cases, it might be a little bit too late to be truly effective, as he would have wanted to make the other item pickups that he could have gone. But you know, not saying that he is going for it by any means. I mean, he could very likely just pass it up. But also intrigued to see what Tempest goes for with this farm. Bottom lane, you see the poison damage. He used the poison burst. Ward's going to be put out. He's trying to take him down. It will be enough probably. Yep, he's in the well, but guess what? Slither doesn't care with that toxicity. That is so brutal, man.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And now Fade can have to use the reflection right here. Dust going out, so this reflection might not even matter, but no, never mind. The invis doesn't. The tree walking absolutely does. So good escape from Fade, but now she's not going to have this to be used as in an offensive capacity. And with yet another tower going down now for the Lions, they're bringing home more and more items. Ophelia with an early Astrolabe. I believe that's was just purchased right here. So Lions going to probably go for 2. Although here comes the TP. I don't know if AL's really going to be able to defend this, but they've already got 2 and make that 3 and 4 on the way here to try to set up a defense.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the team fight now. Bat Blast is down, so, and they do have a Tempest Ultimate up. So, top lane, Corrupted and Hag exchanged lives with one another. Did you catch that?
I got that 100-0. I put my cam up there as Corrupted Disciple was running away at like 20% HP. Hag's at 100%, and CD's got the ultimate up, throws the conduit on when he's like 2 auto attacks from death. And Hag's like, I can do this. And he just turns around like 3 shots Hag. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess I hit for like 4. So they both die, one of them to the haunt right there. And CD gets the experience. So Plato definitely getting the better end of that trade. Oh, so they're going to go ahead and hit that poison spray somehow. I have absolutely no clue how that connected because on my screen it was not there. But that's a dead fade.
Yep, that's a dead fade, and here comes more of that push once again from Lion Esports Club. So yeah, you know, it sounds like some fun plays happening at the top lane, but at the same time, I mean, good for that he got the experience before, but still, that's better for Lions. I mean, you got your Suicide Hag take out a Corrupted Disciple, even though it cost him the kill himself. I mean, that's still definitely worth it. And now Corrupted is going to be back up, though. He has an Energizer. Obviously, he is ready to fight, and most certainly can. He has the Overload actually coming up here very shortly. Kraken going to say hello with a Torrent. 4 are here. They do not have Wretched Hag, but she doesn't even have her Bat Blast anyway, so that's not necessarily the biggest loss. However, she does port in, and she is going to be here for assistance. So a fight you feel like is brewing, but can AL actually stop this? They will need a pretty clutch Tempest Ultimate, perhaps.
Oh, they might find one here.
Here we go, Tempest coming in, he's gonna be gone right here, release Kraken in the background, catches a couple of Fade and Corrupted Disciple, but now there goes the kill field, Tempest charging in, Tempest with the ultimate, the lockdown coming up, it gets the Skeleton Kings, the damage from AL is gonna be pretty intense, here comes Wretched Hag down, the Soda Scream, down goes Corrupted Disciple, so despite a pretty good Tempest Ultimate, it might not matter, down goes another, it's a 3 for 3 exchange so far, but it looks like Lions just a little bit better on top, it's a 4 for 3, and Tempest will have to fall back, hat trick for Jonas and Fan. So I said no Bat Blast on Hag. It might not be the biggest impact. Boy, was I wrong, Beef.
Yeah, Breaky. I think Jonas definitely still going hard. He wanted the 4-bomb as well. But this is the power of the hero. This is why teams like Stay Green and Lions really, really value this hero so high. This is a Suicide Hag who got even just the barest of farm, the barest of levels, and she's just able to come in and put out so much damage for her team, able to set up kills right there, and she just doesn't need that much. But now with even that small start, she's got 2,000 gold in the bank. She'll upgrade her Steam Boots and pick up most likely a Neophyte's book on the way to a light brand, and she'll be able to convert that into so much more. So looking forward to seeing Jonas and Fan continue to snowball, but Lions now with, once again, a 7,000 gold lead in only 14 minutes. Yeah. They're starting to pick up more items that are just going to make them so much harder to deal with. Slither even picking up a glowstone right now, perhaps on his way toward an Icon of the Gods. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Wretched Hag go for an Icon as well, and then Lions just look for nothing but kills.
Yeah, just really get that snowball going would not be out of the question. And he also, speaking of that too, I believe Tempest, even after that fight happened, he's like, okay, Mystic Vestment's pretty good. He has one now, Corrupted has one. You would like to think everyone in this Hellborn team should definitely look to get one if possible. Because obviously this Legion side, all about magic. I mean, Slither alone is just one of those heroes that you need to have Mystic Vestment and barrier out against. Middle lane though, when you have initiation, Ophelia is in trouble. She barely stayed alive. Will be enough for the kill though. If this touch wasn't up, for this Kraken misses, but it might not matter. Tempest is gonna fall right there, and so it ends up being a 1-for-1 exchange, jungle for jungle. Bottom tower though in favor of AL, so I think AL, you could argue, maybe coming on top, especially with Tempest Ultimate being down there.
Yeah, I think that AL is perfectly comfortable with that when they deny the top tower as well. So yeah, they're very comfortable with that exchange. The gold lead does decrease a very slight amount for the Lions, but overall, AL happy with it, and they're going to continue now trying to get some more farm on Corrupted Disciple. He needs to go for the Shrunken Head from here. Going to be able to pick up a Mighty Blade, but saving for buyback for now. And here comes AL. They're going to try to set up a fight right now with Fade in the back.
Yeah, they're gonna try to give the initiation. Pretty sure it's the only hit tag, but still they get the stun onto her. Bubbles not gonna put in with that Shell Surf, but you see Dragonfire hitting slowly though, so they're taking a lot of damage. Will it be enough for the kill? The Bad Blast hits a couple at least. They'll feel this touch comes out, and down goes Pyromancer, down goes Bubbles, and that's the turn potential of a hero of an ability like Ophelia's Touch, as well as just Lions getting there in full resources. They win that fight, and now they're gonna push this middle lane. So AL, they took a pretty big risk right there, trying to make a fight happen, especially without the Elemental Void. And again, that obviously backfired. Tower falls. And now 16.5 minutes in, Lions is getting their biggest lead yet.
Yeah, and I gotta say right there, that was really awkward from Cookies. That was more so missed spells from the AL squad than just about anything else. He tried to line up the two-man Burning Shadows and ended up holding it a little bit too long. Only caught Wretched Hag in the back, which forced the team to dive just a little bit too far. The Shell Surf then ended up missing the Kelp Field, only connecting onto one. It was just kind of poor play, and I think AL was probably just saying go, 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 and there was nobody on their team to say, hey, we missed our stuff. This is a bad fight now, and call them back. And as a result, they just kept going. They took that bad fight. And like you said, Lions' lead expands even further. Got Slither that should be able to finish up the Icon of the Goddess right now if he wants it. Or this could be a Staff of the Masters, another 500 gold. And it looks like it will be that Staff of the Masters.
I like how you switched that up at the last second. And
Breaky, please. I knew it the whole time.
Got it.
Breaky, you're out of control.
No, I was on the Icon of the Goddess with you as well. I mean, it's obviously that also is a good pickup, but yeah, the Staff of the Master is good as well. Corrupted is no longer anymore. Yeah, the Ophelia minions as well as the neutrals, they're like, hey, our people, let's go kill this guy.
I don't
like, wait a second, you're not actually on our team.
I don't know if that was intentional or not from Wretched Hag, but she just needed to take one step forward there to activate another Minotaur stun, and she did. And then the Minotaur stunned both her and Corrupted Disciple, and he died. And I was like, oh, that's great. But in any case, CD goes down right there. Lions up to an 11,000 gold lead, 5,000 experience up as well. And Corrupted Disciple, as I'd said, needs that Shrunken Head as soon as possible if they want to have any shot of making their way back into this game. Because look at the items on the rest of the team. Aside from Corrupted Disciple, the biggest items on the team are upgraded boots, an Astrolabe, and a Ring of Sorcery at 18 minutes. On the other side, you've got things like a Barrier Idol that's about to be finished up, a Staff of the Masters, and a Hag with both a Light Brand and 2,000 gold plus a Glowstone. So I'm assuming this is going to be a Light Brand plus a Sacrificial Stone. Like, I just don't know. It's going to be really rough. And Hag's actually going to go for the post haste right now. This is something that Jonas has been doing a lot lately.
Wait, Wretched Hag is?
Yep.
Did she go for that?
She
got Striders. I was going to say, she didn't have enough. Okay, Striders, gotcha, yeah.
She'll get the post haste here in about a minute. A little less, maybe.
Yeah, very, very shortly. Yeah, I'm cleaning it up and gonna have that. So definitely some. There you go. So definitely, you know, Light Brand, Glowstone, post haste. I mean, not your typical hack build by any means, but making it work here. Pyromancer actually finding Kraken. Sonar Scream missing. So Jonas the Fan making some small plays, taking some burst damage in the face, but doesn't matter in the end. Top lane, Corrupted Disciple, he's in trouble. One net comes out, the second net to follow. The Minotaur stand to follow, I'm sure. No, not going to be used, actually. He's still going to chime in. Corrupted's a little bit too quick with the static discharge, especially. He's going to find post-haste port onto the minions right there. Corrupted Disciple holding his ground. He has the conduit trying to get Torture killed. He will get Torture killed. He falls in the end. Asuka's like, are you kidding me? Come on, guys, kill him.
Yeah, I think that the choice to not use the Minotaur stun right there was a little bit odd. Maybe some bad micro. Gotta check now and see if hanskin's lagging. But I mean, the entirety of the Lions Esports Club team maybe not doing the best. Sealkid's still at 400 ping though. Like,
yeah, I think that's pretty consistent. I think they've just accepted that fact. They're like, yeah, let's just do it.
Whatever.
But you know, on that note, I mean, you can appreciate how they're not like making it a big issue. They're not sitting here like pausing the game constantly, like, oh, we need to really get this fixed. Like,
way to man up.
They're just dealing with it, so they're manning up, and you can appreciate that. But middle lane in the meantime, we do have TPs coming in. AL trying to push that tower. They might be in some trouble though. Specifically, Fade. He's hanging around. Cookies is like, I'm a risk taker. Oh, that almost backfired. That almost backfired.
Almost did, but
it's fine.
Ghost Marcher's not out of there. Bubbles might not be so lucky, especially since the courier right on top of him, delivering an item randomly. There's a kill up top onto Pyromancer, and are they gonna try to kill this one? I don't know. Top river though, Wretched Hag in trouble. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're chasing. Not going to be enough for the kill, though. Still holding his ground. There comes the Kraken with a charge. And Cookies gets space smashed into the trees right there. He goes down. Cryptic Disciple going to be locked out by the release of Kraken. He wants to finish off. So there has 9 conduit charges. So there has minus 80 damage. And it shows, but it's not enough for the kill. Oh, man. You know, that's the great thing about Slither right there. He wasn't doing any damage, but still getting the toxicity buff up is what mattered right there. And it was enough in the end. So that was close. Good hold by President or King Plato right there. But obviously not enough in the end. You rascal, he says. You rascal. Oh, he did get picked up.
Yeah, like. Bubbles got him deep in the middle lane. It was all next level tactics. That Bubbles was sitting there in the trees waiting for over a minute for Wretched Hag to walk down middle lane. Caught him there with the kelp field. Just like they got Pyromancer, and they're gonna get Tempest. I don't know what Creams was doing there, but Reiki, I think this one might be coming to a close here relatively soon. The Lions are in a pretty massive lead, and as one Staff of the Masters has been completed already, another one going to be on the way here for Ophelia, maybe even one for Wretched Hag as well.
Yeah, when we out of the question. I mean, with the way this game's going, you know, maybe that will be more of those like, let's just all get Staff of the Master, but you see the Portal Key on Kraken, speaking of another item to pick up, and he's just been farmed out of his wazoo here. 483 gold per minute, so the top 4 farmers well in the lead here in this game. Sioka the only one that's behind, but you know, and again, not really the biggest deal. So you really feel like this series, AL, they had a great start. Game number 1, they actually competed very well with Lions, and you could say, yeah, sure, a little bit of a mix of both. I mean, Lions maybe was caught off guard to an extent, and maybe not taking them 100% as they should have, but AL, they also did play very well. Game 2 started to kind of die off a little bit now. Here we are, Game 3 again. They've played well, but Lions is just clearly the better team, and it's just what it comes down to. Middle lane, you see Bubbles is going to be picked off here as Super KG finds the kill. This team doing the work, though, but if you got to figure the end is near in this one. I mean, these items coming together very nicely, as you mentioned. As far as the Hellborn team, what they have going for them, I mean, Corrupted, does he have a Shrunken finished? I don't even think he has a Shrunken finished. Yeah, so he just has the Mighty Blade, really. I think he bought the Warhammer at least, but free Kongor in the meantime.
Free Kongor, free Tibet, free everything right here. Kongor definitely going to go down, though, as those Toxin Wards starting to do some work. And I mean, talking about the more items that they're coming out right here, Shaman Tedris just picked up on Slither as well. Just going to go ahead and tank up, saying, hey, the only threat right now is the pure magical damage out of Absolute Legends. The early Berry Idol and the Shaman's Headdress, as well as Mystic Vestments here on heroes like Ophelia and mostly just Ophelia, really shows you that Lions is cognizant of that fact. So they're going to go ahead and just make sure to defend up against that. But outside, still got 3 players that are over 450 gold per minute. Ophelia at 407 as well. And hanskin level 15. Doing work. Not too often that you see an Ophelia this high level and high GPM.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify, because obviously I know it's delayed in chat, but I see people, you know, wondering what the staff does in Slither. I know it's a newer one, so just to quickly explain it, it actually not only increases the damage, but it does make the poison eruption actually lethal now as well. Where before, without a staff, obviously it's not lethal. It never has been. So the Staff of the Master makes it lethal, more damage, middle end in the meantime. Kraken finds a jump. Conduit comes out, though. Kind of a miscoordination right there. Burning Shadow's going to be used. Corrupted's holding his ground. He actually has 2 Conduit charges, not the most, but he needs to be on the run. Not going to matter. He could not run anywhere. He just bought 2. He doesn't have a buyback, and that could be the game if yeah, they're going to catch Tempest, and Lions is going to go cutthroat right here. Now, AL's like, last hope. Last hope. They're trying. They get the kill to Torturer. Well, that's not the biggest skill in the world.
Yeah, it certainly is not, and you can see how high everyone is still on Lions. Oh, they catch Fate as well. Oh, man. Getting brutal right there. That was all without Ophelia Ultimate. She does not have the mana to actually use her level 3 Ophelia Ultimate at level 25 minutes in, which is kind of insane, but they just don't take any damage as a result of the Astrolabe, as a result of the Barrier Idol. And now so they're going to be joining them here in the middle lane. Hag going to be sent back to town after doing a little bit of damage. She'll post-haste back out after getting a little bit of regen on. And, well, there it is. So this tower definitely going to be worked on. And Krames without a portal key, there's no God Hole coming up for him. He's going to have to simply walk in there and get it done. No Shrunken Head, no portal key. I think he'll die before he gets within 500 units of any of these heroes.
Yeah. Tower easily falls. Look at the Toxin Awards. You know, kind of like that Moon Queen effect to an extent, where the longer you wait, the more damage it's just going to do in the AoE presence. I mean, just how they will stand their ground. We do see one last hold really now coming out from AL. Down goes Fade, though. She jumped in, got picked off. You see, Cookies is like, yeah, that was fun, but not going to happen. GG, well played. And Beef, Lion Esports Club, they guarantee their trip to DreamHack Winter 2013. So I'm sure a lot of Swedes are happy, especially to hear about that. A lot of fans in general happy to hear about that. And most importantly, and probably most of all, Lion Esports Club is happy to hear about that. You know, obviously coming into this event, I'm sure they expected to at least be one of the top 3 teams moving on. But to know that you finally did it and it's taken care of, that has to be a pretty good feeling, Beef, and I'm sure they're pretty ecstatic right now. So congratulations to Lion Esports Club. They take the final game. They take the series 3 games to nothing, and we will see them in Jönköping, Sweden at the DreamHack Winter 2013 event as a result. Looking forward to that.
I certainly am, and Breaky, I mean, when you were saying, and most importantly, I thought you were going to be like, you're happy about that. I'm like, yeah, Breaky, I am. I'm a really big Lions fanboy. I'm going to be excited to see them over there in Sweden, and for the first time. I mean, this is a really big deal for the guys. They're known as the Swedish superstars. For the last year on the haunt scene, these guys have been extremely dominant, and getting to play in front of a hometown crowd is certainly going to be a very big deal for them, I'm quite sure. So definitely, congratulations right there, and I think that it's no surprise that they did win this match. Winning it 3-0 was probably what most people expected as well, but I still gotta say they played extremely well, and especially coming off of crucial losses to both Stay Green and TMSR last weekend, it's good to see that they were able to rebound, and now they can just make sure to prepare for everything that's going to be going down there in just a month over in Sweden.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. With that said, I believe, I don't know if you're looking for that. Actually, it looks like Hanskin is good to do an interview, so if you want to get that set up here real quickly, and then we'll be jumping in and, of course, getting some reaction. Obviously, that's a great thing about, you know, doing it like this, you know, just be able to have him come on right away and especially get some immediate reaction as far as how he's feeling, and I'm sure his team is feeling, knowing that they're going to be going. Hanskin, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm sure I think you're feeling pretty good right now, probably.
Yeah, pretty good. DreamHack and all, yes. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Not gonna lie, I expected a little but you guys are going to DreamHack. You take the series 3 games to nothing. You're not only are you obviously one of the more favorite teams going into the event, but I think it's safe to say you're gonna be one of the if not the fan favorite at DreamHack. What is it like knowing that that's gonna be the case?
That's really good to experience. The fans love us, and we're having fun. We're playing Hound, and we're just owning, and it's a lot of fun. I guess I'm hoping to see a lot of fans and all that at DreamHack. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. To kind of go over to read it. So you yourself, I mean, how many DreamHacks have you been to?
As a player, none. But I've been to like 3 or 4, I think, just as a spectator.
Just okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's what's going to obviously. So now you're on the. Now you're going to be coming from the players. I mean, obviously, you got to be really looking forward to that perspective, right?
Yeah, it's always been like a small thing. I've always been there for the last year or 2, and I've never played, so it's gonna be awesome this time around when we actually have to get to play.
Yeah, you know, let's talk about that series though first here real quickly. I mean. So it started off. So of course, you guys are the favorite, and if any out of all the 3 series, I think there's no question. I mean, if we expected the 3 series to be 3-0, you know, probably expected this one. You know, obviously not. It's a mix of you guys being really good. AL, they're kind of that wild card team. We just really didn't know what to expect from them. Were you guys able to do any research going into this series of AL, or did you even bother to do that, or what?
We tried our best, I guess. Like they played 7 or 8 matches in the last like 3 months or something like that, and I don't know. We tried to watch the replays that they played in the earlier stages of the tournament, and just asking around what the other teams had to say, and you know, we did what we could. It wasn't really too much to do about it, but it turned out okay, I guess.
Yes, you guys, it turned out okay. I think it's a good way to put it. So, but going to that game 1 though, I mean. Beef and I'm sure a lot of fans or viewers in general, and I'm sure you guys even, I'm curious, were you caught off guard? I mean, were you surprised how well they maybe played in that first game?
Not really, I guess. how should I put this? I guess we felt that we had the draft and we should win the game. Like probably like we had the early game and everything, so we felt like we got this game, pretty much. And I don't know, we just kept on get picked off at different locations with solo heroes, and it just kind of stuck. We didn't really. It was more like a delay sort of. It wasn't. We never thought that we would lose the game, I guess. And
Okay.
I don't know actually. They played good, of course, but we always thought that we had the game.
Yeah, so it sounds like more that you guys were you had to get a feel for them, really, of like realize, okay, these guys actually are pretty good, now that we're in this game again, because earlier on you're right, yes, you did have the early push team, but it obviously wasn't coming together as planned. And again, AL, the minus armor strategy, I mean, that definitely played a toll, and you guys seem to be having struggles against that to an extent. But again, the end result is that you guys came out on top, so that's what matters when it's all said and done. So again, another big congratulations on that. As far as the following games, it seems like they're a little bit more in your guys' seat, I guess is a good way to put it, in terms of control. So anything about game number 2 or 3 even that really worried you at all, or did you feel pretty confident in both of those games especially?
No, I don't. I think the game 2 and 3 was just pretty much a roll, I guess, if you can say that. We just play well, and there was never really a point that we felt that we will actually like throw the game or lose it, or
yeah.
So
I gotta ask you. Well, first things first. There's obviously 2 other death matches that are still to be played. Of course, we got tomorrow's death match, Too Much Sugar versus Justice League, and then on Friday, IG Internet Gangsters taking on Team Excellent for trips to DreamHack as well. I'd like to get your predictions, perhaps. I mean, how do you think tomorrow's at least going to play out? TMSR versus DCX?
I'm actually gonna go ahead and say DCX will win. I think they're
really.
Yeah, I love those guys. They're pretty good, and I don't know. I just feel like they got this one.
No,
TMSR hasn't been scrimming too much, and I know that.
TMSR hasn't been scrimming too much. What? They've played 7 scrims in the last 2 days, haven't they?
I don't know. I guess they did.
Beef, let the man give his opinion.
I mean, I'm just saying that his opinion's wrong. Like,
we asked him a question.
All right,
I mean, come
all
on.
right. My bad.
I saw
mute my mic.
with ringers and. Yeah.
No, I love hearing. So you think Justice League? Okay, so it's kind of a mix. Now, with that said, I think Justice League, they're kind of interesting because last I heard their roster might be changing going into that match. I'm not 100% sure on what their 5-man roster is going to be. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be actually.
Yeah, it's.
Well, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Hopefully, we'll see tomorrow. But anyway, so yeah, we'll talk about more of that in just a little bit. Anyways, but also then, of course, the other series, IG versus Team Excellent. Predictions there?
That one is pretty more one-sided, in my opinion. I think IG's just gonna roll it, pretty much, because I would like the roster changes that Team Excellent has had, and the kind of like what do you call it, like they have not been performing as good as they are expected to do in the last weeks or so. So yeah, Team Excellent definitely has been a little bit shaky, as they have in the previous weeks, previous months even, leading up to these last couple of, and it's kind of poor timing because obviously it's Last Heroes League, big fan, you got the DreamHack qualifier, so it's going to be interesting to see how they shape up. So we'll see how that series goes. So obviously, okay, thank you for that. I got to ask this too, DreamHack. Every single DreamHack, it feels like we get a random hero that pops up, and it's the DreamHack hero for the event. Is there a hero that maybe I don't want you to give away a strategy by any means, but is there a hero that maybe you think might pop up? I think I guess Dr. Pulsar, but he's already kind of in there, I guess. And
yeah,
I think that SG is starting to use Blitz a lot, and I think that hero is pretty strong too. So maybe some
Doctor
of that, I guess.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, he's still fairly new, so I can see that kind of being maybe the one.
And
so
people getting Icon on every hero now as well, so it's pretty well for him.
Yeah, holy crap, man! That item definitely started to take off. Beef, you have any questions, man?
I just gotta say, I mean, hanskin, you guys are coming off some rough losses there in the SPHL last weekend, and definitely not looking as strong as you had against teams like Stay Green and Too Much Sugar. I mean, what did you guys really do to motivate yourselves and make sure that you prepared for your match today since your last match 5 days ago?
I guess we just we just tried to pull ourselves together a bit, and it wasn't really like the worst thing ever to finish top 3 in the Soundbuster League, but I don't know, we just screamed a lot. We watched replays and we talked about the games and how important it is to get to DreamHack with this international qualifier instead of the Swedish one, and we tried hard and we did our best, and you know, got us where we are.
Well, actually, that's a good point, because you guys, you're one of these teams. I think you like Team Excellent, maybe a couple others that stand out, that you had a backup plan to an extent. I mean, as you just mentioned with the Nordic qualifiers, but as you stated there, it sounded like you wanted to make sure you got it done before that. So explain the reason. You just wanted to get it done just to be it done with, or?
That, and I guess our sponsor is going to cover the bootcamp if we don't have to pay hotels and all that ourselves. So that's a big plus for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. It's a lot of
So yeah, you did not 100% needed to win this, but it definitely helped a lot that you guys obviously won it now. Not having to worry. So
it's a kind of a relief, I guess.
Yeah. Beef, I'm sorry, was there any more?
Yeah, I got one follow-up question. Hanskin, you guys gonna win DreamHack?
We can do it for sure, but I think we're gonna make top 3 at least.
Hanskin, are you gonna win DreamHack?
Okay, Beef, we're gonna win.
There you go.
Are you going to beat Stay Green? How about that?
Yeah, of course.
You don't need to think about that. Come on.
Wow, this lack of confidence is very
like,
disappointing.
Yeah, I guess.
We're gonna see Internal Alliance in the finals.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
There you go. No Stay Green. There's the fighting words that we're looking for.
There you go.
Not a Hanskin.
You should have seen it trying to do those interviews with Hanskin. I'm like, all right, now talk some trash to your opponents. He's like, good luck to my opponents. This is going to be good games. I was like, come on, make him cry. He's like, oh, I don't know. I think we're going to play pretty well.
Man. Just too nice. Just too nice.
Oh, man.
No, I'm sure it's going to be fun. I know. I know that you, even though maybe not 100% showing it here, but you guys, and you yourself especially, are really excited that you're going to be going to DreamHack, especially. You've been before maybe as a spectator, but you're going as a player. So that definitely, I'm sure, is a great feeling. So with that said, again, big congratulations. Obviously, you want to get you the chance here to any shout-outs, any final words you want to make your Hanskin?
I'm going to go ahead and just not mention anyone. Too many people asking us.
Oh, come on.
Okay, Lions, my team. Papa Bjorn. That's it.
Papa Bjorn's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good at predicting matches. Like, really, really good at predicting your matches. Always.
I've never... yeah, he's the one that predicted, what, you guys to lose the first game against TMSR, but then you'll come back. Like, you'll lose the first game, but then you'll come back. It just didn't happen,
That's true, actually. I gotta have a talk with Bjorn.
Filled on that one.
A great guy.
Sounds like a great guy. Sounds like a great guy. All right, Hanskin, definitely, again, thank you, man. I know you're excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing Lions, obviously, at the DreamHack Winter 2013 event. So congratulations once again, and go celebrate. Do whatever you're going to do. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Yeah, see you later.
There you go.
There you go.
I just don't know, man. I mean, they're just so humble.
I don't get it, man. Like, if I just won that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get over there to DreamHack and I'm gonna show these guys there's only one champion in Newarth. Like, I could be the worst team out there and I'd just be like super confident, but I don't know, man. We're Americans like that. We're rude and boisterous, and we love cheeseburgers. I'm gonna go.
We do.
I'm gonna go to cheeseburger.
No, with that said, I mean, I really do think that, obviously, again, we've seen it before, especially from Lions and just other teams. I mean, they got to be excited, you know, like, although maybe it didn't 100% come off like that in that interview from Anthony. But they're feeling pretty good. They're feeling pretty good, and I do honestly look forward to seeing them. And it's a good story, too, like I said. I don't know, Hanskin, obviously, he mentioned that it's going to be his first time playing. I don't know what the other players, if that's going to be similar for all the other players or not. I'm actually blanking on if anyone else on the team has actually played.
Jonas played with old Lions 2 years ago at Winter.
That's right. That's right.
And
so pretty much for the most part, it's going to be a new experience for nearly all of them. So
did Fuzi play with VDT or was that Zibby?
I want to say it was Fuzi, actually. Now I'm blanking. I don't know.
Remember. One of those two. I always get them confused.
Anyway. Anyway, the point being that at least a couple, if not more than that, are going to be kind of a new experience, and that's gotta mean something. So again, gonna kind of be those home crowd favorites as well. Not only are they all Swedish team, but they are a very good all Swedish team, to say the least, and no doubt going to be one of the expected ones to possibly finish even on top there of that DreamHack event. So that's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be fun. So Beef, one team in the books now as far as these qualifiers go. We got two more. We got two more to come.
We do.
We got two more to come. And that starts with tomorrow, as we talked about there, and you were so passionate about jumping into. Too Much Sugar versus Justice League. That will be taking place tomorrow. Just real quickly on that, there is a schedule change for that. So it's actually going to be happening at more of an earlier time. It's going to be happening at... let me double check on that real quickly, actually, just so I don't give you guys the wrong time. It is on Honcast side as well, but it will be at 1 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European time.
I nailed it,
so
Bricky.
1 p.m. Eastern, 1800.
I nailed it.
Nailed it.
It was already on the screen. Boom.
There you go.
Got it.
Taking care of business.
I was really worried that I had the wrong times up there, but yeah, looking forward to that match tomorrow, Breaky. TMSR and Justice League, as Hanskin said, he thinks that Justice League's definitely got a shot. I think that TMSR is definitely looking like the better team, but I mean, discounting Justice League is a mistake from anybody. They absolutely have a chance, and I think that we're going to have our most competitive one of our death matches here tomorrow. A very real chance for it to go all day. Good thing we're starting early. Don't want those guys in Europe having to play until 4 in the morning or whatever. Only Slicks has to do that.
Yeah, only he's used to that by now. I would hope so, as long as he's been around. But yeah, we were talking about that though. I mean, Justice League. I've heard different stories. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I guess till tomorrow to ultimately see what their 5-man roster is going to be like. But there's been possibilities of maybe something switching up there even at last minute. So
last thing I heard,
I don't know.
Bray is still there. Priceless and Own Me are gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Tilla stepped back in. So it's now Tilla, Bray, Saint Rocks, Imba Boy, and whoever their last player is that's normally there. That I can't think of right now.
Book?
Nope. Book's been gone for about 3 months.
Has he been gone? Yeah, I was going to say, I know he has been gone.
I don't know. Somebody. So definitely some changes, and we'll have to see because they've been looking good. They've been looking not so good. They're kind of all over the place because they did have like a 9-man roster. And now they're down to 5, and we'll see if that 5 is going to be able to carry them all the way to Yongshipping.
Yeah. They're using Imba Boy, Embry, St. Rock, still a Zane in a scrim earlier yesterday.
Yeah,
so Zane was the one that,
Zane's awesome.
Thinking about it, I believe, so. Okay, so yeah, still definitely a powerful roster by all means, but yeah, maybe a little bit of a change up there going into, obviously, a big best out of 5. But no, as you said, I really think if you had to choose one best of 5 for whatever reason, I mean, I think this is the one that really stands out.